Hello and good evening. I hope the internet lasts for me tonight. I know a lot of people are on the internet due to having to stay at home and self-isolating. It's great to have your company. I'm here to hopefully take your mind off what's going on in the world just for a few short minutes while I do some crafting with you. If you've not been on my channel before, welcome. It's lovely to have you along, and please stay, please come and see what we've got in store today. My name's Esther, I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm in England, UK, in the West Country, and I get to use, play and sell with rubber stamps. So rubber stamping, you might think, oh, it's a bit old-fashioned, but actually card making and rubber stamping have come a long way in recent years, and particularly with this American company called Stampin' Up that I'm a demo for. So I hope you can glean something from my live tonight. Now, we'll be putting this Facebook Live over onto YouTube, so don't get confused if you hear me chatting to people. It is pre-recorded. So what I'm going to try really hard to do tonight, it might not work, but I'm going to try and say hello to people at the beginning, not say anything, and save questions for the end. It might not work, but I'm going to try and make the video a little bit more compact and concise by doing that. Sometimes I think when you watch replay and you can't see the interaction from people, you don't know what they're saying. It might not work. I might completely forget and just carry on anyway. So now's a chance to share out this video, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to try and call you up on my other device, if it'll let me, and hopefully we'll get started. So it was quite funny when I woke up this morning, because I'm not working at the moment, and I said to my boys, I said, oh, we could have a pyjama day. They went, oh yeah, and I went, yeah, but not today. I said, I've got to go on live later, so I've I quickly had to kind of, you know, make sure I was presentable, shall I say. So I'm going to turn you around, and actually let's do the quick register, and then I'll turn around and say hello. Hi to Anne-Marie, Ruth, Jeannie, Carol, Kay, Laurie, Ellie, Marlene, Matt, and I can see a few other people along the top of the screen. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you our project for today. So my project was inspired by Pootles, who is also known as Sam Donald. Oh, let me just try and get this out the way. That's it. And she is one of the top demos in the UK, and she's great at making lots of boxes and things like this. So I've used a retired colour called Berry Burst on this just to make up my demo, and it's a sort of like a hexagon shaped box, and I really wanted to use this with the bee stamps and the bee dies, but I'm running out the paper because I'm using it for a class. But I thought I'd show you the same kind of thing but using different stamp sets and different papers. So I've got Positive Thoughts out, and then I'm also planning to do maybe a more masculine type one also. Okay, now although I've got it called up on my other device, I can't see current comments. So let's see how we get on. I've pulled out the, I don't know whether to use these or other colours, so hopefully you can see that on screen. Let me see if, and if I can get you to choose out some colours. So I need a green because I want to use the green. Actually, I don't need to use it. Yeah, you choose and we'll go from there. So I need, yeah, just a handful of colour. What I've gone and done is I've already cut and scored a piece of thick Whisper white cardstock. I'm going to stamp directly on that, and it's already in the right shape for the box. And then through the different score lines for my second box. So do shout away some colours. What would you like to see? Oh, Old Olive, thank you, Kay. Old Olive, a few more colours please, everybody. Cherry Cobbler. 2 of you want Old Olive, so that's good. It's looking a bit Christmassy. Any other colours? Now can you see that? I notice on my other screen it looks very blurry. So you probably, I don't know if it's coming out on screen. I think so many people on Wi-Fi that it's, I need just a couple more colours, please. Shaded Spruce. Where is he? He's gone for walkies. those right at the bottom. Maybe. And in the meantime, I'll get these on some blocks so we can get stamping. Okay, can we get, I want like an orangey or a yellow or a purpley. Come on, more colours people, more colours. So we'll use, oh I definitely want the butterflies. Oh, where have I put all my blocks? Use a flower. Is it blurry for you guys? Because in my screen it's very pixelated. I think we're going to have internet issues today. Curry, thank you. Okay. I might just chuck in a bit of pumpkin as well while we're there. Sorry if it's pixelated and it's cutting out. I just think generally the internet is probably just a bit full up today. So, like I said, I've already gone ahead and scored on my white. You can't see all the scores, but this will fold automatically into the box shape once I've stamped. Yeah, I'm sorry, there's not a lot I can do. And then I'll talk you through my next one in a minute. Keeps stopping and a bit blurry. Well, this is going to be fun, isn't it? Not. Well, hopefully you can hear me and I'll just keep talking in the hope it will sort itself out. So what happens when you are stamping on pre-existing score lines, make it sound posher than it is, you've just got to be careful when your stamps start overlaying onto different parts, because you'll get like a cut-off line in your rubber stamp. So because I've got two greens here, I'm actually going to do part and part. So I'm stamping in the darker colour and then in the lighter colour. So using the shaded spruce and then the old olive. So if you're just joining, I'm not ignoring you. I've said at the beginning that I'm going to try and get through without keep stopping and commenting, because when people watch this on replay, they don't always get to be in on what's going on. Hi Ryan and Bobby and Joe and Delinda and Ryan. So there you go. Can you see that? There is that mark that I told you about that you shouldn't do. But that's okay. I'm just going to carry on anyway, regardless. You're not too late for judging, Ryan. Now I will be heading over to... So I'm going to stamp in between the panels. Hopefully I won't get that line like I just did. Over to YouTube later after I've done this, because Tuesday nights are my double whammy nights, where I try and get my social medias presents done in the same night. It just gives me other free evenings to do other things, but as I'm going to be home a bit more, you might see me around a bit more. Looking good so far. Oh good, how positive of you. So let's do the same again, but this time, I don't know what colour that's supposed to be. I'm going to go in with the pumpkin pie and then crushed curry on my dauber. So this has got a sponge end and you can just slip it around your finger, inking it up, and I'm going to put just a little bit of yellow in the centre. Oh, that's nice. So if you kind of dab it around and round in a circle, then it helps to merge the colours. If I just dabbed it in the middle like that, or twisted it, then you're going to have a bit of a circle come out when you stamp, so you want to be dabbing it. Okay, Ryan, thank you. Yeah, it has settled down, thankfully, isn't it, Carol? I think maybe it just had to get used to me being around, I don't know. Okay, so that's the flower. And then we haven't used... now, where are all my blocks? There they are, they're all in front of me. Cherry cobbler yet. So we're going to use this one on the butterfly. Oh dear, that needs re-inking. Esther, sort out your inks, love. Esther, read all about it. That's what I used to get at school sometimes. Actually, I think that will do for that. Now, you've got to remember that this base bit here is going to be the bottom of your box, so you're not going to see this, and this is going to be your top bit. So it's up to you. You can probably stamp, well, you can stamp along the top if you like. I'm going to add a few butterflies because you will see that bit when it's folded. Okay, can everyone see? Any more for any more? Let's get the feather in, and I want to get this border one in as well. So I think just a hint of a feather floating in the breeze. It's all very naturalistic. Kind of stick it out from the flowers, maybe, a few here, a few there. And then I do like the idea of this stamp here, which is like a border stamp. I was going to do shaded spruce, but I'm wondering about... oh yes, let's stick. We won't twist, we will stick. So this can go both ways. This can go this way, or not upside down, but it can go... oh dear, I've got inking issues here. I need to re-ink my... Now I'm going to miss the image and go around the butterfly. Oh dear, I'm going a bit wobbly. Oh, why am I so wobbly? It's because I'm not over my work. I can't see what I'm doing. Okay. And then the same with the bottom half. I don't want to go over all the images that I've been stamping. I'm going to go around it. Now I'm so tempted to do some masking with this. She says, looking for her masks, because I've got them out. I've got them out to use later. So I'm thinking this one here. So there's 4 that come in the pack. I've got a tree one that I'm going to use later. But for now, I'm going to use this one. So this was in our Christmas catalogue. And it's carried over so you can still get it. And it's just great for, if you feel like you've got something missing, turn to your masks basically. So because I can see through it, it's great. So you can just lay down a little bit of colour without completely going over everything. Does that make sense? Whoa, look at that. It just makes... Sometimes I've got to force myself not to use the masks, I think. I'm so glad I got them. Oops, sorry. Crash bang. Okay. Look at that. Look at the difference it makes. Okay. The mask is very current. Ellie says this looks interesting. Can't wait to see it formed into the box. Yeah, me too. Hi Valeria, great to see you. Am I on the fold line or above it? Sorry, I know it's difficult to see. That's the bottom. It's at the base of the box. And this is going to be the top that folds around. So for those of you who've joined later, this is what we're... Oh, you can't really see, can you? This is what we're working on. So rather than cutting out coloured card and putting paper on, which you can do, I'm actually stamping over the pre-cut sheet, and it's pre-scored as well, to show you an alternative to the box. So I am going to put the mask on the top half as well, so that it blends in. Whoa, I've got funny colours picking up here. Blends in with the rest of the box. Okay, so let's see what this looks like. Do I use wet glue? Right, and then I can't remember if you're supposed to cut some bits out. I think we are. Right, so this short bit at the end, like I say, I'm going to make another one and I'm going to talk you through. So don't worry about going, as you said, the measurements, and if I missed it, I think I need to keep that top bit. And then this trick I got off Ruth, in order to cut, actually I'm not cutting wedges. No, I'm not, forget that, I'm not cutting wedges. We're cutting straight up the score lines, so nice and easy. Sometimes you need to cut out wedges because of the way that things are folding over, but for this particular one you don't need to, you just cut straight up those lines. Now I'm tempted to use some tape for this so that it glues fast. So this is double-sided tape and it's called tear and tape. So you literally can lay it down and tear it off. And then you peel this back, so you're left with a very sticky strip. And then because this won't go flat, you just got to line up the edges. So you're sticking that small strip together to start forming your box. And then these fold down together like so. Something like that. I don't know if there's a particular order. I can't remember. So just do it so it looks tidy. I'm going to bring in my wet glue for this. So I'm going to do my left one, then going across to the other side, and then shutting the two down. I think, you know, just practice. You can see what works and what doesn't. And then you want to kind of maintain that hexagon shape, okay? Now, at this point you might want to flip it over carefully and just put something down in the middle, maybe your glue or something, just to push that down to seal. And then for this top bit, again, because I've already pre-scored it, look at that. Can you see that star shape? I'm just going to squash this in. Okay, like I said, I've already done all the creases and the folds before I've come on to you tonight to save on a bit of time. Isn't that pretty? How cool is that? Okay, so now you want to get yourself a handheld hole punch, which this one I actually picked up at the charity shop. Let me just see what I'm doing. Okay, so you just pinch those points together, pop in your hole punch. You might be able to do this with a normal hole punch, and then you just want to go around popping your punches in, popping your holes in. Oh, that one's a little bit tougher because that was on the crease. And then actually I've just remembered that I've got some nice matching ribbon. I wonder if it's going to be big enough to go through. Let's have a look. Oh, I'm going to stretch over for it. So simply pinch them together again. Now, you want to find, look, I can't even find my crease. So the bit that you've stuck together, you kind of want that at the back. So I suggest thread, so that's the back where the crease is. You want to thread at the front so that your bow ends up at the front. Now, I'm swiftly running out of time, but I wanted to show you what this looks like. And I also want to show you another way of being able to do it. So, just because they're stamps, you're not limited to cards. That's one great thing. You can do anything made out of paper that you can think of. So home decor, cards, gift bags, gift boxes, bunting, all sorts. There, let's see if we can get you up a little bit more so you can see that. Okay, right, I'm going to try and quickly speed you through another one. So bear with me while I just swap things around a bit. Ink pads out the way. I wanted to use the Well Dressed stamp set again and show you. Okay, so if you're in the UK, the measure, or anywhere, The measurement, your first measurement to cut down the outside of the box is 8 by 10.5 inches, and this is the only wastage that you get. Is that right? Yes. So I've to cut a tiny bit off there, so you've got the 10.5 by 8.5. So obviously the longer side wants to be your longer measurement. Okay, so it's 8 by 10.5 inches. Okay, this is where we're going to do some scoring. So you can do this if you have a Stampin' Up trimmer, or we also have a scoreboard, and I like using the scoreboard because you can just go quickly through all the scores. I'm just going to hover this there for a second in the hope that you can understand my writing. So if you want to screenshot it or anything. Now the band, I'm not doing a band today, I'm just doing these bits. So when it says the long side, that's obviously the 10.5 inch side. We are going to score it at, just move that out of the way. So scoring the long side at 2, oh, this is easy peasy. We're doing 2, 4, 6. This is why I chose it, I think. It was something, it was nice and easy. 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. So that ½ inch off the 10 there is obviously your gluing bit, okay? Then it says you want to notch it in between. So basically at 1, 3, 5, is that right? 5, 7. I'm just checking that I've got this right, and 9. It's too late if I've got it wrong. Then you turn it 90 degrees and we're scoring it at 3. No, 2, sorry, scoring it at, I was going to say that 3 is too much. 2 and 6. 2 and 6. So we've done 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, notched it in between, turn, score at 2 and 6. Really nice and easy. So I'm going to leave that as reference. Now you can use this score tool, or we do have a scoring tool on our Pick Me Up tool. These are interchangeable. Mine are tucked away in a box, so I won't use those now. So the reason why you're doing those notches is because you want to join the notches down to the, can't see a thing, can you? The half notches are going to go down in a diagonal to join that first score line, okay? Nice and easy. I find some people like do one score then turn it the other way, but I found it's much quicker if you do the ones that are in the same direction, because you just having to slide your ruler along rather than turning it each time. Ellie says I could never pick me up one of those. Which one, Ellie? Okay. So with this one, I wanted to do something similar to this, where we're going to stamp on the panels. So I'm hoping desperately my maths is right tonight. It's not usually. I'm just finding a soft suede, because that's the colour of the background card. And I've cut this panel out, so hopefully it means I can stamp on this and I can cut it down into these little panels. So I've got about 5 minutes to do this, and then I'm going to head over to YouTube. So let's do this. I'm going to just get myself a bit of scrap paper. So my panel measures 8 3/4 by 3 1/4. Okay. Oh, pick up tool. It's called a pick up tool, not pick me up tool. I do get them. I should write the name on it, put a label on it, because I do forget what it's called. So I'm wondering whether to use, I've got no idea. Let's just grab a load of images. I want them to kind of fit on, so in fact what I'm going to do is I'm going to display them on the, should we stick in a shoe? Stick in a shoe as you do. And maybe a pen in the opposite direction. Now it doesn't matter if we've got some coming off the page slightly. There we go, so we're going to group all those together. I'm going to go in with soft suede, and now it's sort of like a giant stamp, because you just group them all together, and this means that you can create a whole background with all the stamps on one. So I wanted something vintage and masculine. Now Ruth, my sister, did a YouTube last night using this stamp, and she used them so rather than just keep stamping along, I'm actually going to move the stamp up a bit so that you've got like what looks like a print, so it doesn't look like the same thing over and over again. You've kind of got it, you know, in different places. And I'm just going back in to fill any gaps. But just for ease, I decided to go kind of like a vintagey look. Now I have got a smudge, I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to cover it up with a shoe. I am going to add some more detail in a minute, so that smudge wouldn't have mattered too much. Oh, that was close. Thai meat fountain pen. Okay. Now I'm going to grab out one of my handy makeup brushes and just seeing if it's got any ink on that. Yes, it has. It's a bit bluey. Do I risk it? Is this the brown one? No, that's a bit greeny. Okay. What colour is this? Okay, we'll just use this. And rather than wasting the ink, I'm just going to go on top of my stamped images to rub off any ink that's on there, any excess ink. I'm just going to do some smudges all over like this. Nice and smudgy. I'm not being particularly careful. Oops, she says. In fact, I quite like that crumpled look. Oh, I was tempted to scrunch it. What do we think? I better not. I better not. Oh no, that's a blue one. That's clever, wasn't it? Oh, let's do it. Let's mask it. Let's get back that same mask. Was that the one? This is where I get my brushes all muddled up. Just really quickly, a little bit. Just a little bit. Not being careful. I'm just giving it a rub over. Yeah, that makes all the difference. There you go. Okay. So I think I need to cut this down. Let me just check my special ruler. 1 3/4. I just need an excuse to use that mask again, absolutely. 1 3/4. So I'm hoping, cross your fingers. Don't believe your fingers, you'll just get finger ache. Just hold your breath is what we say. And hopefully this will get 5. All in the right size. 1 2 3 4 5. Yes. Oh, it was worth doing the maths. There you go. So you've got 5 panels, and these simply now can go in here. Now Kate earlier said, now you can put this in the right order if you really want to. That goes there. It's like a puzzle, but you don't have to, because it's like a collage effect. You don't have to have it in the same order. There you go. So yes, it is a good size box. You can fit quite a bit in there actually. It's nice and deep. So we're going to get this glued together and quickly made up. So I like the idea of having a border around it. Like I said, when Sam did this on her channel, she did like a belly band around it. So belly band, I know it's got a funny name. It's like basically a strip of paper or card around the middle, and I think she decorated that. But I decided to create these kind of panels and work out the sizing for the panels. So, I mean, it means that you can make it your own and do what you like. Ellie says, not Ellie, Vanessa says, I can see a box day coming up. Yeah, spend the day making boxes. And especially if you're doing the same design, you can knock them out quite quickly because you're then on a roll. So snipping off this is the only bit you are snipping off, is this tiny bit at the end. It's just snipping up. Now maybe I should have folded and burnished, but there you go. We can do that still. So folding, is it folding like this? Burnishing basically means squashing down those folds to make sure they're nice and creased. And it is worth doing this process. It might seem like it's not worth doing it, but it does make your box fold exactly where you want it to. Now for these V-shaped bits, you kind of want to, they are a little bit more stubborn to crease. Now you can try and pinch them, but I found actually physically kind of folding them over in the direction of the crease was a bit easier. God, this cardstock is nice and thick, so you're just trying to break those fibres up to make it go in the direction that you want it to go in. Sorry, I know my big fat fingers are in the way. Okay. So once again, figure out how you fold the bottom half. I did 1, 2, flap over, and then those two. Just so it looks neat and tidy, basically. Gina says she's never made a box before. And let's see if we can get this to squeeze in a bit. So there. Hopefully you get the idea. And you can make it a matching card. So, there you go. That's quite fun, isn't it? I'm going to get this glued together, and you can... Do you know what would be nice with this? Is that nice... Oh, sorry, I found something else. This magnolia ribbon would look good with that. There's that. I wasn't thinking of that. I was thinking about this twine, but I think this ribbon will go nicely. So, oh, let's see it to the end. Why not? I might as well, otherwise it will end up sitting on my desk and waiting to be finished another time. Kay says she loves making boxes. They're good fun to make, and they're a nice alternative to card making. I think sometimes I like making boxes with a purpose. Like, it's nice if you've got an occasion to make it for. There we go. And then we're going to glue the bottom half. So I tended to find that 1, 2, opposite, and then those two. I think as long as it looks, you know, nobody's really going to stare at the bottom bit, are they? Welcome, Maureen, Valeria, Lily and Janice. Nice to see you. There you go. And then once again, we're going to... This is the tougher one because it's going through those layers. I'm not measuring them, I'm guesstimating. I like that word, guesstimate. There we are. So remember, your seam wants to be at the back, she says, not being able to find it. It's so good, I can't find it. that's the back one there. quickly thread this through. It is a Stampin' Star box, yeah. This, I can't take credit, this came from Sam from Poodles. So do head over and join me on YouTube after this. I have got a really cool, well I think it's cool, I practiced earlier, like a really kind of grungy, kind of underwater theme card. I'm just going to snip this off. You get the idea. So here's one I made earlier with some designer series paper. So if you're not comfortable with stamping, or if you've got some scrapbook paper that you want to use up and a piece of card, you can do it like that. If you want to stamp your own box, you can stamp your own. Or if you want to do panels and stamp panels, you could do that. Kay suggests a 2.5 circle for the bottom. Good idea. If you don't want to see this bottom, you can cover it with a 2.5 inch circle. So I'm quickly going to say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining me. And do head over to my... Oh, come on. Ooh. Oh, hi Joe, I didn't see you sneak on there. Do head over to my YouTube channel, stampinstarcreations.co.uk, and I'm going to do a project. I'm just going to show you a tiny little glimpse, just to give you a bit of a taster, and that's it. Thank you everybody so much for joining me. I'm sorry if I missed your comments. It did work though, didn't it? Kind of try not to reply to everyone and everything in between. So take care, and come and follow, or if not, catch up on YouTube. I'm going to put my boxes away and get ready for my next project. Mwah! Take care, keep safe, keep well, and I'll see you in a mo. Thank you. Bye.